Les géants du tabac paieront plus de 32 milliards.
3 major tobacco companies pay out billions of dollars.
Agreed to a settlement in a $32 billion class action lawsuit.
JTI McDonald, Rothmans, Benson and Hedges, and Imperial Tobacco would pay roughly $32 billion to provinces and smokers.
Deux actions collectives au Québec ainsi que les gouvernements provinciaux cherchant à... So even the governments in the provinces are suing those tobacco companies to get back the money that it cost them to provide for their citizens that were sick. That's just crazy. I made a video about quitting smoking cigarette, and funny enough, 2 days after, I see this article that comes out, so I thought I'd make a part 2. After a quarter of a century, it being the costliest and longest lawsuit in Canada's history, 3 of the largest tobacco corporations are finally held accountable for lying and hiding for more than 50 years what smoking could do to you. They knew exactly what the hell they were selling. And even worse, they made it appear like it was cool to smoke and somewhat innocuous. This lawsuit has taken so long that there's members of the original class action lawsuit that died because of cancer that they got from smoking. So they're said to pay a little over $32 billion in fines. But for me, the only thing that comes to mind is that nobody's going to jail for this. If a doctor would do something harmful to their patient, knowingly doing something to their patient, to harm them and get caught, they would go to jail for this. They will never be able to practice again. They wouldn't be allowed to practice ever again. And yet these giants are just paying a fine and are still allowed to sell those cigarettes. We want your money for the wrong that you did to us, for hurting us, for killing us, but we need you to still sell your product because we want that money. And the Canadian Cancer Society are actually pointing this out as well, that they're really happy that they're giving money to individuals and they have fines to pay, but it's still not doing much to the root cause of the problem.
And this is still at a proposal stage. What is your read of it? Does it go far enough?
It does not go far enough. It's inadequate. Certainly the compensation to individual victims in Quebec in class action and victims in other provinces, important, we support that. This proposed settlement contains nothing to actually reduce smoking.
Here's a breakdown of the money. $25 billion is going to the provinces and territory in Canada. $4 billion to 100,000 smokers from Quebec are the successors of the people that died from the original class action. $1 billion to smoking-related cancer research. And if I'm understanding this correctly, each cases will be given a different amount of money. You just need to go apply on a website and wait till this is over. They're still going through some details. Well, granted, $32 billion is a lot of money, but for those companies, it's absolutely nothing. And they do mention in the article that they don't want the big companies to go bankrupt, because if they go bankrupt, nobody's getting shit. So it's an agreement with the 3 companies of how much are you guys comfortable to pay us. I remember when I was much younger, smoking was seen as rugged for a man and elegant for a woman. There was even commercial, and they knew that they were selling poison. I mean, to what extent is the government to blame in that story? They have health experts. They most likely knew what was going on. They most likely studied cigarettes at some point. They did let the companies promote their cigarettes on TV shows, movies, billboards. And yet, other than in 1965, ordering the companies to write on the packs that it was dangerous, that smoking may be hazardous to your health. Nothing was really done. I guess it's all in the phrasing. Maybe hazardous. I mean, it's not that scary, right? I guess I understand why people kept smoking. I wonder if they had put on the packs in 1965, smoking will kill you. Smoking will give you lung cancer. Smoking will give you mouth and throat cancer. That probably would have made a bigger impact on the general public. It's almost as if they wanted to really hook you before telling you the truth. And also, did you know that a cigarette pack always followed the minimum wage? One pack of cigarette has always cost 1 hour work at minimum wage, give or take. But it's like they really wanted to make sure that everyone who wanted to smoke, it was available to them, that you could afford it. And I was discussing with friends about this. What if cigarettes would just be illegal. I mean, just paying a fine to me doesn't seem to be enough. Obviously, my friends that are smoking, they were saying that it's our freedom of choice to smoke or not. I understand that. So what if instead those big corporations, they had to shut down? Listen, we know you're killing people. We know you killed people. You're admitting it now. Let's just close shop. And if you wanted to smoke, well, you would have to, find a way to smoke. Just grow your own tobacco and just make your own cigarettes. I wonder how that would work out. Obviously, there's a lot of people that would be pissed because I don't want to downplay the addiction side of cigarettes. I used to be a heavy smoker. I quit 15 years ago, so I know exactly what it is to quit smoking. At the end of the day, it's not that bad. It can't hurt you to quit. It's not physically harmful. Yes, you go through a little bit of withdrawal, but that's pretty much it. And it's nothing really someone can't handle. So if it's that hard to access cigarettes, well, people would just be forced to quit. Or maybe raise the prices really high so it becomes an extreme luxury to be a smoker, or add an income tax to people that smokes. And I'm just thinking out loud here. Just don't go crazy in the comments. I want to know what you think, especially if you're a smoker. What do you think of this $32 billion fine? Do you think it's enough? Do you think that they should get more? Also, how would you feel about it if someone died in your family from cancer? I mean, it's understandable. I mean, now you can't sue these companies. It's crystal clear. We know what cigarettes will do to you. But back in the days, they lied. They lied for 50 years about knowing what it would do to you. That's a big difference. What do you think that these companies should get for being so deceptive? Should the CEOs or the bosses of those big companies go to jail because of what they did to society, literally to society? It's not to like 5 people. I'm interested in reading what you have to say about this, so leave that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Go check that video if you're a smoker and maybe interested of knowing how I quit after 20 plus years of smoking. Maybe you'll get some tips in there. I like you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.